Zoe, congratulations on the craft legacy. I love how
Thank
you
you.
updated some really relevant topics from the original story to fit like modern society. And what I found really interesting was kind of the update to the Chris archetype, if you will, with Timmy. So if you could talk about sort of weaving him into the story the way that you did.
Yeah, well, I looked to the original as a sort of blueprint, but then took my own license in updating the story, which really is a departure outside of the main log line of for young witches. So I loved how in the original Chris was used, but I felt that so much more could be said about the ways in which men are also being caused harm by the systems that oppress women. And I wanted to explore that through the character of Timmy. And also sort of without like giving away any spoilers, I think like the film definitely explores toxic masculinity, but it also explores divine masculinity. And I think it's important for all of us to have sort of aspirational models for what masculinity can and should look like.
I love that.
So
I love that. Now, I also love the Coven of Four Witches. I think that you gave such nice, distinguishing traits to Lourdes, Tabby, Frankie, of course, Lily. But Lily is kind of the central character of the story, like our opening into the Coven. So if there could be more movies, which I hope there are, do you have any stories in mind, specifically for Lily, Lourdes, and Tabby?
I do, but I won't share them yet. But it would be a dream to continue the legacy, so to speak.
Fingers crossed with that.
Thank you.
I also know that you brought on, lots of trusted colleagues for the film, many of whom were women. How do you think that helped shape the perspective of the film?
Well, I think, when we're talking about women in the storytelling, it's important to me to have women who are also the storytellers. And so my cinematographer, my production designer, my producing partner, and my editor, were all women who I brought with me from my directorial debut, Band-Aid, on which I hired an entirely female crew. But then we also had, our costume designer, Avery Plews, and our composer, Heather Christian. It's always really important to me to hire women in an industry where there, are unfortunately still a lot of barriers to entry for women below the line and just for women, behind the camera in general. So, yeah, I guess with this film especially, I really wanted to subvert the male gaze. And so I wanted women's eyes on it.
I love that. And then finally, you had power is order and your difference is your power. So I'm just wondering, for you personally, what is power?
For me personally, I believe your difference is your power. And I think that another, big part of the reason why I wanted to tell this story was to highlight how much more powerful we are in community. And when we are celebrating each other's difference, that is us at our most powerful. And I hope that is an aspirational message at a time when I think we could all really use it.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think that I received that from the story.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.